In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Death Star Gunner for the Saga collection. This is an action figure that's pretty near and dear to me, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. I pretty much have showed these guys on the channel at one point or another in various videos, but I have yet to do their single video up to this point. It's about time we correct that. So I don't think I've really talked about this too much though, but of all the action figures in the Saga collection, besides maybe General Veers, these guys are probably my favorite action figures that were released in the line, at least for troopers that is. I distinctively recall back in 2006, the first time I saw these guys at retail, as soon as I saw them, I instantly thought, oh yeah, I definitely have to have these guys in my collection. It's a fantastic action figure. If you have seen my video before of the Imperial Engineer from the Legacy collection, this is the original of that. And then the Engineer here is just a repaint. Instead of having the gray suit here, it was originally black. See, there are some differences though. And personally, not sure if a lot of people agree with this, but I think this is still the superior Death Star Gunner that you can get. Even more so than the TSC action figure. I think the proportions are better. I like that the blast vest here is removable. And it's just a good action figure overall. It's fun to pose. Articulation's pretty good. I know a lot of people say it's not up to today's standards, but I think it's good enough for what it is. I mean, he's a gunner. He's not really going to be in a whole lot of dynamic poses or anything like that. And this is the first action figure, or one of the first action figures, I ended up getting a duplicate of back in the day. I was that big of a fan of it. So check which one. One has a little bit of a looser helmet. Yeah, so this one here, my parents got this for me back in 2006. I'm trying to think if it was Christmas or if it was just a off-the-cuff random day. I forget which specifically, but I know they got it for me back in 2006. This one here. And then this one, a friend got this for me back in Christmas of 2006. Nice gift exchange we did. I haven't seen him or spoken to him since about 2009 or 10, I think. He ended up, at the time in grade school, he ended up switching schools, and this was before social media really blew up, so we never really got into contact again after that. But he'd probably be shocked to know that all these years later, the Death Star Gunner he got me, and he also got me the extra AT-AT driver I have, and he ended up getting me a Super Battle Droid as well, which I unfortunately don't have anymore. But you'd probably be shocked to know that I still have the AT-AT driver and then this gunner here. Over, what is that, 19 years later almost at this point. I've kind of talked about this with like the Yellow ARC Trooper video before, that, you know, these are things that you appreciate and you cherish throughout life. So for the helmet there, I think it looks pretty good. I think the proportions are good. What I especially like is that the antenna is kind of in scale. It's one thing that the TSC action figure had, is this extra large antenna here, and of course a small head. It doesn't really look realistic that a human-sized head would be underneath here. This one does have a little bit more of that realism to it. The whole thing's cast in black, and the blast shield in the back here, the Imperial emblem, and it is a removable helmet. And I'll show what it looks like real quick. basically have the skull cap over a clone head. And it was kind of controversial at the time because I think this was one of the first Imperial troopers that we got that had a clone head. See, he does have the red eyes there. But I've never minded it, and I thought it was alright. The helmet does fit securely on him. Some are better than others. The reason why I can tell the difference between these two is the one my parents got me, the helmet is a much more tighter fit on the head. Well, the one my friend got, it was always much looser. As I mentioned, the blast shield here is, or the vest here is removable. It's basically like body armor. It's a very nice accessory. And if you wanted to change up your gunners a little bit or make them a different type of trooper, you can have them without it. As for his bodysuit here, it's just all black, but it does have nice details with all the ruffles and typical creases that you would see on a suit like this. Has a silver belt buckle there. It's the holster, which is a cross draw. The E11 does fit pretty securely. I might have to twist it a little bit to get it out. But it's not too bad. It's going to fit in there pretty good. And his boots. Articulation, like I said, I think it's good enough, but I know a lot of people probably beg to differ. He does have a ball joint at the head, which has a pretty good range of motion. Hinged shoulders, which go way past 90. Then swivel elbows, which I know a lot of people don't like swivel elbows, but I do think it works for some action figures, this one included. Swivel wrists, basically, or forearms. Then swivel waist, then swivel hips, and then hinge knees, and nothing in the ankles. And this action figure is not really effective without the ankle articulation. Before I ended up getting these stands, of course I would include the stand he had, but I never really had a lot of problems having these guys stand on their own. See if I can get that focus in a little bit. Then for accessories, besides the E11, it's the same exact E11 that we've gotten with hundreds of other Imperials over the years. Nothing too unique about that. Cast in the same colors. They do have the stands here. Return of the Jedi, Death Star Gunner. No, this guy's gone by different names over the years, like the TBC one's Imperial Gunner, and I think, or at least the Return of the Jedi card was labeled as Imperial Gunner. And he did have a hologram, which I forget specifically which holograms these guys came with. I think it was 2 Vaders, but just show something a little unique but related. Here's a Stormtrooper hologram. Imperial emblem there. And then here's a blue Darth Sidious. Here they are again with the Imperial Engineer. I think these were the only 2 releases that used this Death Star Gunner sculpt. It's nice to have 3 of them. Wouldn't mind getting an extra engineer at some point, just to make an even number. But I think that's really all I can tell you about the Death Star Gunner here. Would I recommend them for your collection? I definitely would. In fact, I would recommend the Saga collection one still over the TSC action figure. I know everyone's going to have different preferences, and yes, this one's more articulated, but I think this one's much more accurate to what we actually see in the original trilogy. And it's just a fun action figure to have. As I said, I think it's one of my personal favorites, genuinely, from the Saga collection. If it's not General Veers, it's this guy for sure. And they've been a big part of my collection for the last 19 years. One of the first action figures I ever got duplicates of. And, I have a lot of great memories with these guys. I've had a lot of displays with them. When I was building my Imperial collection back in 2006 and 7, these guys were at the forefront of that. So they've been a huge part of my collection for almost 20 years now, and I cherish both of them greatly. As far as price is concerned, on the aftermarket, not too expensive at all. Probably less than $20 for a brand new one even. Same for the Imperial Engineer. The prices for him aren't too bad either. So it's a great action figure overall, and definitely one of the highlights from Saga Collection. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for playing more in the future. There's always more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support, and check out the links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.